But here's something to cheer you up on this gloomy day. The 8 cheetah cubs born at the St. Louis Zoo, they're 6 weeks old and they're doing great. They're quite the little celebrities. Our Facebook cheetah post was shared more than 25,000 times, and videos on the zoo's Facebook page viewed more than 200,000 times. Joining me now is Steve Bircher. He is the curator of mammals and carnivores at the St. Louis Zoo. So you are the main guy over, like you said, lions, tigers, and bears.
I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how are they doing?
They are doing great, as you said. And what's really remarkable about this is the fact that the mother Bingwa, she produced a litter of 8 cheetahs, cubs, and the normal litter size is 3 to 4. So she's basically raising 2 litters of cheetahs, which is pretty remarkable because there have only been 3 cheetahs that we could find doing research, and this is over 430 litters that have been born in North American zoos, that she's one of 3 females to produce 8 cubs, but those other 2 females were unable to raise all 8 of their cubs.
Oh, wow.
So she's doing something. She's been an exemplary mother.
I think all moms out there can really respect that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. So is it kind of like a litter of puppies? Do they start to develop personalities at all a little bit, or do you see differences in any of these baby cheetahs?
Yes, and one of the things that we do to monitor their progress is occasionally we do have to shift mom to an adjacent enclosure, and then we can weigh the cubs. So now they're going to be 6 weeks old in a couple of days. So we're starting to see some of those individual temperaments or personalities that you're saying. They're very strong and feisty because they're mother raised. They're just like wild cheetahs. But we're seeing those little bitty differences in personalities. And then as they grow and they become more like adults, then we'll definitely see those different personalities, just like us. They all have their own individual personalities.
And how many males and females?
We have 3.5, so we have 3 males and 5 females.
Okay, and is there one running the pack of these 8?
At this point, we can't tell. Their ages, I mean, their weights are all very comparable, so we don't have one that's much larger than another one. Sometimes that size can create that dominance, but we're not seeing that at this point. They're still nursing off their mother, but we've just noticed in the last week that she's now teaching them to eat meat. And we put in some bowls of meat in a couple enclosures away from where she's at. And there was one evening when we were reviewing the tapes overnight where we knew that she had vocalized to the cubs. All 8 of the cubs came over and they were all around the feed bowls where she was teaching them now to start eating meat, which
There's
is
mom
really
being
kind of
very
neat,
protective. That's cool.
which is a really neat behavior.
So she does something to vocalize and teach them vocally how to eat the meat?
Well, at least she'll tell them when to come, when to stay in the den, or when to follow her. So those are all part of the learning that they have to do, and yes, she teaches them. And there's a whole range of vocalizations. They'll make bird-like chirp sounds. She chortles to them. They can purr. Cheetahs can purr. They're one of the few big cats that has the ability to purr. So there's all kinds of ways that they can vocalize and communicate with each other.
I could talk to you all day. So have you named all of them?
We have not. Right now, they all have numbers. Every animal that's born at the zoo receives an ISIS number, the International Species Inventory System number. So we basically have a number, so when we weigh them, we can record that particular number. That's how we keep track of them. We haven't really talked about it yet. However, I will tell you that we've had over 50 cheetahs born at the zoo. This is one of the most remarkable litters. We try to give the animals that are born at the zoo, the cheetahs that is, we try to choose Swahili names that have some kind of meaning. So we may do that.
Okay, we have to go, but Steve, one more question. Everyone's wanting to know, I'm sure out there, when can we see the cheetahs?
Well, they're still now in a maternity area. It's been quite cold lately, so they're not ready to go outside yet. They have to be vaccinated. So it's hard for me to give you an exact time. It's still going to be a couple of months
Okay.
before they can be out to be viewed.
Steve Bircher, thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
with us.
And
good luck.
I have a gift for you. Here's a cheetah plush.
Oh!
That I couldn't bring the real thing,
For my
so
little,
I brought
my little
you.
cubs.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming.